Today's learning target is I can solve problems using shadow reckoning. Today we're going to be taking a look at an indirect type of measurement, which is called shadow reckoning. On sunny days we can see our shadows. You can see over here shadows have been cast here on this boy and this person sitting in this high chair here. Now, with shadows, the lengths of those shadows are proportional to the heights of the object casting the shadow. So we can see over here the height of this boy and the shadow that is created here, that creates a right triangle. Okay, so we know the height, we can measure the height very easily, and the length of the triangle. Now in this person right here, we can see that the shadow also creates a right triangle. Now if we don't know the height of this person in the chair, we can find that by creating a proportion, because this shadow is going to be proportional to this shadow because they both create a right triangle. So to find the height here, I set up a proportion. You can see that right over here. Now, when you set up the proportion, you just want to make sure that that what's proportional you set up in the same spot here. Okay, so I put the bottom, the length of the shadow for each of these at the bottom, right there. And now the height, so the height for the boy was 1.8, and I put that right here with the shadow for the boy. And the height, which we don't know, I use the variable h, and that's in the numerator for both spots. And I know that I can cross multiply with proportions to solve, and so I've done that right here. I've set it up, so 0.8 h equals 1.8 times 1 2/10. And when I work that out, I find that h is going to equal 2.7 meters. So the height here is going to be 2.7 meters. So let's take a look at one more example of this shadow reckoning. So we can see here we have a statue, and the statue we don't know the height of, but if we take a look at the shadow that's cast and we create a right triangle with the height, it's 43.5 inches. And we have a boy here who has cast a shadow, and we know that he is 64 inches. So to set this up, I'm going to set up my proportion. So we have 64 inches tall for the boy, and his shadow is 32, and we want that to be equal, proportionate, to the height of the statue. And I put that at the top because the 64 here was the height of the boy, and then the shadow cast is 43.5. So I've written out the work over to the right here, just like you're going to do today. And when I solved this on the calculator, I got 2,784, so that's equal to 32h, and I know I need to get that variable by itself, so I'm going to divide by 32, and I get 87, and my label is going to be, I'm going to be measuring this in inches, so I make sure I have that. 87 inches would be the height.